What's up guys, Bionic here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video where we are still on the test server. I've been able to test a few more things on here other than just the tag team arena, but I will give you guys a quick update for the tag arena. Okay, so as I predicted after the reset, which was at 2 a.m, I ended up moving to bronze tier 2. Alright, now I did a couple battles today, also managed to go up into the green portion of the bar, which means that at the next reset in 3 hours I would technically move up to bronze tier 3. However, you will notice that the points have changed, right? So now it seems that you can get more points, but you can also lose a lot more points. So let's look at a couple of battles here on my defense and see what's happening. So first one top here, you see minus 14, but then plus 6, so I'm still in the negative. The second one I got beat across the board, which means that's a huge loss. But then the next two, I got a win across the board, so that's basically a big win, okay? So I'm not sure if the points will keep going up as we go up in ratings, but that definitely changes your perception basically of how ranking will work. Okay, like this guy right here who beat me across the board, that's minus 45 points for that battle alone, which is pretty intense. You can still farm somewhat the easy battles in this portion or in this tier, but it's harder. Okay, it's getting harder and harder and harder. So yeah, it's not going to be easy to climb those ranks, but then again, there's only 1,000 players on this server right now. So today guys, what I want to do is talk about my Soulless. I told you guys I wanted to do a dedicated video on this guy because I think he is a beast when it comes into nuking other enemy teams. So we're going to talk about the build, we're going to go over the skills, the masteries, sort of what I'm doing right now, the Great Hall, then I'll show you guys a little bit of him in action. Alright, so we have him in a Savage set. These are some of the best pieces that I had lying around. It's not perfect, it's obviously it's going to need a lot of work. He's also relatively slow, which is a problem, but I am running him on a slow defense team. Alright, so it's sort of working in my favor. I do have defense percent gloves. These could be crit damage, would be that much better, but I just didn't have those gloves available. I do have a defense percent chest, of course, and then we have some speed boots. Ideally, these would be defense percent as well, and I would need to stack a lot more speed on the rest of the items. Even the ring here is not flat defense yet. We do have a 6-star crit damage amulet, so that does help a little bit, and I'm also running a defense banner, okay? So I'm not looking to have his debuffs applied that much. I really just want him to hit as hard as possible. I have other debuffers on my team. So total stats, we are looking at 4.6k defense, almost 40k HP, only 154 speed. That's alright. Crit rate's not there, but I do have a 30% buff from my Mausoleum Mage, so that's not too bad, and crit damage is kind of low, right? I'd want this to be over 250, but like I said, I just don't have that type of gear on my account. Mastery wise, here are what I am using right now. Helm Smasher being really important because on my current team I don't have a decreased defense, okay? So that's why I'm running Savage plus Helm Smasher, and then we do have kind of like a counter attack going on the defense tree because this guy does have on his A1 a stun, okay? Which is decent. It's a 50%, so that's kind of good. We do have a provoke on his A2, which also hits relatively hard, but can also remove a buff. It's a random one, it's a 100% chance, so that does come in handy once in a while. But this is the skill right here that I really love. Attacks all enemies, places a provoke, and basically will increase the damage based on how many debuffs the targets have. You can increase the damage by 10%, then it increases the shield. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. It's not the best, but it is working, okay? Then let's do the Great Hall here real quick because, yeah, it is affecting my stats. As you can see, I have a lot of points in the Void section, so crit damage is maxed out. Defense percent is maxed out. HP is halfway. We do have maxed out accuracy and resistance as well, okay? So I am in Platinum Arena. That's also affecting my stats. You do have to keep that in consideration. And now let's jump into a run here real quick. Not a run, but let's just go in a dungeon and see what kind of damage we can get out of this guy. So what I've done obviously is I have the defense aura, I have an increased defense and an increased crit rate with my Mausoleum Mage. I will have a decreased defense with my Ghostborn, and then we have some debuffs on the Torment with the Provoke and the Stun set. We do have a couple more debuffs on the Harvest Jack with his A3, which is the Fear and Decrease Speed. So obviously they're not all maxed, so like the Harvest Jack won't necessarily have a 100% chance of placing these, so we'll see if how many we can get and how hard we can get this guy to hit. All right, here we go. So we're going to provoke and hopefully stun across the board. Okay, we got a couple, that's good. Then we're going to buff for increased defense and increased crit rate, which I need. We're going to add the decreased defense on pretty much everyone. And let's see if we can get a couple more debuffs on here. And okay, we got a couple. So we got 4 on 1, we've got 4. They all have 4 basically. We did get a leech, right, because of the masteries. So it's well balanced across the board. So if I don't get a crit hit here, well, it's not going to be perfect, but let's try. Let's see what kind of hits. Boom, 160k. Wow. So that hits really, really hard. I also see it in the arena. It's not the perfect setup because you only have 4 champions in the arena, but I can still get like 120k hits, which is enough to basically take out almost any champions. Let's try this again one more time. Maybe it'll encourage you guys to use him if you do have him, but then again, he is a Void Legendary and not everybody has this champion. This is the only Void Legendary that I pulled on my account in 15 months of playing, which is pretty nuts when you think about it. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 on him, 4 on almost everybody. Let's try this again in slow. Boom, 200k damage on one of them. Wow. So yeah, man, if you guys want to use him, like I said, his multiplier on that A3 is like 5.6 or 5.8. I'll confirm when I edit the video, but it is insanely hard. So I think there's only one other champion that has this type of multiplier on his skill. It is Ignatius, right? We covered that in the top legendary nukers not too long ago. But this guy, Ignatius, right here, I always confuse both of them. This skill here, if I'm not mistaken, also has a very high multiplier. So that's going to be it, basically, guys. I really just wanted to show this guy in action. I suppose I could go in the arena, the regular arena, right, and see what happens. Let's pick a team that doesn't have too much speed. Like this right here, sounds good enough. Then we're going to reorganize this, like this, like this, like that, and our nuker. Okay, let's see what kind of damage we can do in here, assuming we don't, we don't die. All right, am I going first? Yes, I am. Good. We did get a couple provokes. That's good. Okay, let's buff up, increase crit rate, as well as the increased defense, really important here. Okay, we didn't get a lot of debuffs, but we'll try it anyway, right? Let's see what happens. We do have a lot on the Soul Drinker and not a lot on the rest of the champions. Wow, 60 some K still, man. That's really good for not having a ton of debuffs. I mean, the skill alone by itself hits really, really hard, but you see just how much it can scale with how many debuffs you have on your opponent. So let's say you have something like a Dracomorph to add your decreased defense and the weaken, right? I didn't even have weaken there. He would hit even harder. So this guy is an amazing nuker. I am really impressed. I'm glad I have him. I'm tempted to try and max him out, but then again, I think there are more important champions on my account that could use those books right now, because this would be like a dedicated nuker for the arena, not even on my main arena team, mainly for tag arena. So I don't consider that to be the most important thing to do on your account right now. I always try to save my books for, let's say, clan boss first, perhaps then regular arena, and now we'll see with the kind of rewards we are going to get on tag arena. It might be worth it for me to invest a little bit more in these champions. But yeah, so that's going to be it, guys. A quick build video on Soulless, one of the best nukers in the game, in my opinion. He's defense based, he's void. Like I said, in a Savage set with Helm Smasher and a ton of debuffs, this guy can deal a ton of damage. Anyway, so that's going to be it. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.